Okay. Is that a turtle? Or what is that? Is that a turtle? Literally like snapping a twig. Super easy. Or is it a big fish? Um, Hold on, let me just add a row below. Put it in like this color. Not a real animal. Let me just make that tier. Okay, not a real animal. Is that a shrimp? That's easy. Octopus? Easy. Shark? I'm gonna say we go... I'm gonna say there's a chance. I'm gonna say low chance, but possible. Low chance, but possible for the shark. Octopus can strangle me. Yeah, bare hands. This is animals I could kill with my bare hands. I don't think I could beat an octopus. An octopus would be free. What do you mean? Why would the octopus would be so easy? Yeah, the shark, the thing is, a shark's AI can be very... let me put this on. A shark's AI can be easily abused, okay? So all you have to do is, if you punch them in the nose, they get stun locked, is what happens. That is literally, I didn't make that up. It's literally true. They have abusable AI, so it's unlikely. I'm not saying it's likely that I kill this shark, but what I am saying is I might be able to stun lock it. Octopus is hard to rank because you don't know how strong they are. All I'm telling you is I'd hit him with the I don't know what you call this kick, but it's like the guillotine kick, where you lift your leg up, axe kick. I can't stretch, and then you slam it down like that. And I would do that on his shoulder, and I would just instantly get him. Okay, I'd destroy him. I think this is like a baby shark. The water might cause me a little trouble. Fighting that guy in the water might be a little bit challenging. Pufferfish, snapping a twig. I don't know what this is. A lemur, snapping a twig. Not a real animal. Orca, hopeless. Orca, hopeless. Swordfish, we'd go extreme diff, but I'd win. I would probably let him stab me. What I'd do with the swordfish is I'd allow him to stab me with the sword, but what he doesn't realize is once he stabs me, I've got him right where I want him. Because then I'd grab him like this, and then I would just snap his sword off, and then I would pull it out and stab him with it. So, yeah. I don't know what this is. Not a real animal. This is a monkey. That's pretty easy. Hippo. Fish are more slippery than you think. Yeah, but if we're fighting underwater, they wouldn't be slippery. What? Do I know any anti-hippo tech? I don't know if I know any anti-hippo tech strats for beating this guy. He's the deadliest land animal. He hasn't met me, clearly. It's just, I can't think if I have a strategy to kill the hippo. I'm gonna say hopeless. Not a real animal. I believe this is called the marsupial. We might go extreme diff. These guys are kind of strong. We might go extreme diff, but ultimately, I'd win. Seahorse, easy. Not a real animal. Chicken, easy. Seal, easy. Actually, it might cause me a little trouble because I'd be sad about doing it. I think this is a... what is this? The narwhal right here? These guys are really tanky. I could maybe do it, but... the walrus, okay. You guys ever watch Naruto? At all? Doesn't matter. You guys ever watch The Incredibles? Have you ever watched the movie The Incredibles? Not the sequel, Incredibles 2, but the original The Incredibles? In that movie, the final battle, they fight against a big spheroid robot that's completely impenetrable. Except by itself. So the narwhal skin would be challenging for me to get through, but I would use his own horns as weapons against him, and I would use, much like how the family in The Incredibles defeated that robot, I would defeat him with his own. I would maybe be able to beat him with his own teeth. In fact, I'll put it in. Might cause me a little trouble actually, because the only reason I put low chance is I don't know if I could pierce the skin, but now that I think about it, I could easily. That's not. I don't even know what that is. That a platypus? Easy. Is that a gerbil? Easy. Dog? Might cause me a little trouble. Spider? Easy. Frog? Easy. Centipede? That one would freak me out. I could kill it easily, but it would freak me out, so it might cause me some trouble. I think that's a snake, which might be a little trouble. Scorpion. They're kind of creepy, but again, pretty easy. A unicorn is not a real animal. I think this is supposed to be a dolphin. We'd go extreme diff, I think. I'd go extreme diff with the dolphin. Wolf. I'd go extreme diff with a... No, it might be a little... maybe a little challenging, but I'd win. Another dog. I already ranked dogs, so I'm not going to rank another one. The common house cat. Pretty easy. A lion... That would be a challenge, I think. I think a lion might be a challenge. Wolves are huge. They're not as big as lions, okay? Do you know how big a wolf is? No. That's a lynx? Oh. My fault. Or wait, that's a lion. What is this? Is this another marsupial? The common house cat? No, I'm sorry. I said it as bait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck this is, but he looks like he looks pretty easily beatable. Look up wolf next to a person. Wolf next to a person. Okay, but she's sitting down, so that doesn't count. See, that's pretty easy. This guy is just 5'3". This isn't real. This guy, that's not real. That's photoshopped. I don't like that image. See? The reality is, we domesticated wolves, and that by default puts me over a wolf. So, that's a coyote, not a dog. Okay, well that would be pretty easy, I think. I don't even know what this is. So I'm going to put it in not a real animal. That's not an animal, that's a plant. That's a plant. Penguin, no diff. Polar bear. It'll definitely be harder than a bear. It'll be harder than a grizzly. Mostly because the terrain is the issue. The thing is, I can use the terrain against a grizzly, but when I'm fighting him in the ice fields, there's nowhere for me to like weaponize. What I could do is I could run out onto a lake. It's possible. Here's how I explain my win condition. Okay? I'll find a lake that is kind of like thinnish ice that I'll be able to walk on, and I'll run onto that lake, and the polar bear will follow me, but then he'll be too heavy and he'll sink into the frozen lake, and then he'll drown. So it's possible. Pretty easy. Monkey. This is one of the bigger monkeys, right? Probably take him though. Cow would be really easy. They can swim. But they wouldn't be able to get back onto the ice, right? Because they'd be too heavy, so they wouldn't be able to get onto the ice. Because they'd be stuck in the water. So I'd let him tire himself out in the water. He would lose his energy, and then when he's fatigued, I would come in for the finish. Polar is the worst bear to get in water. But if the ice is thin, I'm not saying, I said low chance. I'm not saying I would win. I'm saying low chance. They hunt seals in the water. I'm not saying low chance. What I'm saying is, if I get onto the ice, he can't get up on the ice to eat me because he's too heavy. So he's stuck in the water. And if he keeps chasing me, I'll stay just out of his range, so he keeps thinking he can get me, but I'll keep, you know, like leading him around. And then he'll get fatigued. He'll tire himself out. I think this is also a cow, so I could probably beat it as well. Raccoon, super easy. I think this is a deer. They have big antlers. They could be a problem. So the antlers might cause me a bit of trouble. But deers are not fighters. They are runners. They like to run away. So a bird is obviously easy. I think this is also a bird. This is a turtle. Wait, did I not have a turtle already? I thought I already had a turtle. Is that not a turtle? Deer over bull? Oh, that's a bull. I thought it was a cow. Oh. Those guys are tough, not gonna lie. Those guys are a challenge. A bull is a cow? Bull is a male cow. Okay. Okay, guys. That's an ox? That's what I was saying. This isn't, like... Wait. I'm confused. It's fine. Turtle. I think I already did turtle, but I'll put him right beside the other turtle. I don't know what this is, so not a real animal. This is a plant, not an animal. That's a twig. That's a twig. That's a twig. That's a twig. Zebra. Where did I put horse? Oh, I haven't found horse yet. Is that a piranha? Easy. Ants, literally bugs. Not a real animal. Koala, easy. Isn't that a frog? Wait, what's a frog? You said horse isn't real? No, that's a unicorn. You see the horn? It's really hard to see, but there's a horn. Almost done. There's a horn here. It's a unicorn, not a horse. Sloth, easy. That's not a frog. That's like a weird... I don't know what the fuck that is. If it's a frog, then it's easy. Okay. Okay. Big boy gorilla. Low chance, but it's possible as well. It's not as bad as these two, for sure. Another turtle. Okay. I mean, at this point, like, what are we doing? Porcupine, easy. Stab him with his own porcupines. Whale is too... He's too big. He's too large. He's simply too large. Camel might be a little challenging. Might be a little bit challenging. Not gonna lie. He's large. He's big. He's just so large. But I feel like his legs are so thin that I could pretty easily, like, cut his legs out from beneath him and he'd fall over. Not a real animal. That's a what? What is that? An alpaca? Another dog. Don't need more dogs. More dogs. Can you go inside the wheel and kill it from the inside? Probably not, no. Alpaca... It's just an easier camel. It shouldn't be too hard. I don't even know what that is. That's a plant. That's mushrooms. Pig would be pretty easy. Peacock would be pretty easy. Not a real animal. Stingray, manta ray, or the other way around, chat? Stingray, manta ray, or manta ray, stingray? This thing got Steve Irwin. So I'm not taking these guys lightly. Is all I'm saying. Bird, easy. Not real. Not real. I don't know what that is. Not real. Donkey, pretty easy. Not real. Not real. This, what is this? I don't even know what that is. Not real. Not real. Okay, I think a lion would be hopeless. Not a lion, a tiger would be hopeless. They're literally dinosaurs, bro. Capybara. Might be a little challenging because I'd feel bad about it. Crab, easy. Fox. He's a little quick, though. Foxes are kind of quick, but I could take him pretty easily. Hedgehog, I mean, come on. Another snake, pretty easy. A moose, extreme diff. I'd go extreme diff with a moose. These are the last North American megafauna. I already did deer. Let's put him down here. That's a dinosaur. Koala bear, easy. What is that, a chimp? I could just, again, all I do to the chimp is I just pull his arms like that and then pull his arms out of the sockets and he'd be done. The common house cat, very easy. I'd feel bad. Chimp might be maybe a little bit of trouble with the chimp. Maybe a little issue. Squirrel, easy. I don't even know. Aren't these the same guy? Easy. I'll make some adjustments after. Don't worry. These are just my initial reaction. I'll think about it. Giraffe. I'd leg sweep him, but he might fall on me, so I'll call it a little trouble. Hyena. Should be about as easy as coyotes. A rhino would be low chance, but possible. Grizzly bear is an extreme diff. I don't even know what that guy is, but he looks very easily defeatable. I don't know what this is. I think this is a buffalo. How would I get a buffalo? I could get him to run into a wall and knock himself out. So it's possible. I know I could do that with a bull, but I couldn't do that with a buffalo, I think. A goat. These guys are trickier than you might think, by the way. Goats. That's just another goat. I don't need that. A cheetah. Cheetahs are, by the way, cheetahs are really free. Like, cheetahs are not, like, of all of the big cats, they're actually not big cats. They're actually little cats. So they're pretty easy to beat. So they're not hard at all. Elephant. Probably hopeless. Not gonna lie. They're just too big, and I can't leg sweep him. And I can't turn his tusks against him either. I don't think I could take an elephant. Eagle. Might be a little trouble. That's not a real animal. I think that's a giant squid. I wouldn't be able to survive that far underwater, so I wouldn't be able to beat the giant squid. That's not a real animal. That's not a real animal. I don't know what the fuck that is, but that's not real. Panda would be the easiest bear. Very simple, like snapping a twig. I don't know what that is. This would be pretty easy. I think that's a sheep. Pretty easy. Not a real animal. I already did cheetah. We'll put that down. I don't know what that guy is, but he looks free as fuck. Is that a black bear? Where did I put grizzly bear? Extreme diff? Black bear might be a little bit of trouble, but ultimately not that hard. Panda bear, easy. Toucan, easy. Boar, this thing got Robert Baratheon, so I don't want to choose this. I want to take this thing likely. This guy got Robert Baratheon, so. Rabbit, easy, and then it's just dogs and stuff I've already done. So. Okay, I can make some adjustments. Okay. Is anyone in Hopeless that doesn't deserve to be there? Definitely not beating an orca. Probably not beating a hippo. Definitely not beating a whale. Definitely not beating a tiger. Definitely not beating elephant, and probably not beating a giant squid. Shark. Like I said, I could probably sunlock him. I have win conditions. I have win conditions against the shark. Polar bear, again, I have a win condition. Is it beat or kill? It's kill. I have win oh, wait, you're right. I couldn't kill the shark. I could just stun lock him. You're right. You're right. I don't think I could kill him. No, I'm telling you, there's a win condition against the polar bear. Have him fall into water, and then tire himself out in the water, and eventually he'll drown. I can do the polar bear. It's like I'm not saying it's. All I'm saying is I have a win condition. Okay. Big boy monkey. I'm gonna be honest. These guys might deserve to go up here. I might move that guy up later. Rhino. I just don't know enough about the Rhino to really say if I couldn't beat him. My gut instinct is I couldn't, but it's possible that he has weak points. And then I think that's a Buffalo. And again, I don't know how I'd beat him, but why is Millipede a little trouble? Because they freak me out. Okay. Do any of these guys need to go up to giving me a little trouble? Obviously, let's just... So, obviously, no. 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 Maybe Hyena might be a little trouble. Obviously not. Obviously not. Obviously. Just a regular snake? No. 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 I think that's a crab. No. Donkey? No. Ostrich? No. Peacock? No. Pig? No. Porcupine? No. Turtle? No. Apparently this is a frog? No. It's a king cobra? It's a snake. It's the same thing. A sloth? No. Koala? No. Bugs? No. Piranhas? Piranha? Singular? No. Panda? Probably couldn't snap a panda like a twig, to be fair. I could beat him, but not like a twig. No, he's the panda. He's so easy. Never mind. He's so free. What am I talking about? Another snake. Is this a rattlesnake? What's my plan to not get bit? Wear shoes? Like, kick him in the face while wearing shoes? What's he gonna do about that? I think that was like a big bird. That guy looks kind of large. He might give me a little trouble. He's large. Cow, easy. Penguin, easy. Fox, easy. What is this? Is this one of those Komodo dragons? They can launch themselves pretty far. Aren't they huge? Aren't these guys like massive? Like 3 feet tall or something? Like, aren't they like real? He looks small here, but aren't they really big? I might go extreme diff with this. He is a lizard though, and lizards are kind of free. But he's really large. He's really large. Was there no alligator or croc? That's not one. Oh, I thought it was a... Sorry, I put him in dinosaur. I put him in a dinosaur tier list. Maybe a little trouble, but ultimately not that hard to kill. Ultimately not that hard to kill a crocodile. I've watched enough Steve Irwin to know that. This is the lynx. I think that wouldn't be too hard. Scorpion. Again, just wear shoes. Tarantula, just wear shoes. Easy, 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 easy. Shrimp, easy. Turtle, easy. Cheetah, easy. I don't know what this is. Alpaca, easy. Rattlesnake. So you guys have contentions with the snakes. Let me find these. Where are the snakes? Let me put them all up here. If I can see them. I don't even see them anymore. Oh, here we go. Here's one of the snakes. I don't know what this is. Not a real animal. You have the octopus you also take issue with. This guy. And I think there was like 3 snakes I remember. But I don't remember what the third one is. Wasn't there like an anaconda? Oh, here, I put him in Might Cause Me a Little Trouble. It's a leopard? I think it's a cheetah. Okay, so the snakes and the octopus you guys take issue with. We don't, so just to be clear, we don't have any issues with anything else right here. Like all of this is pretty free. All of these other guys. Pretty free down here. Right? These are the ones. Depends on the size of the octopus. You don't have an issue with snakes? If I'm wearing thick boots, I would just kick it in the face, is what I'm saying. Pretty easily. If it tries to bite me, I would just kick it with my shoe. It wouldn't be able to hurt me. It wouldn't be able to hurt. It literally could not hurt me. That's why I don't think the biter snakes could get me. Maybe the anaconda, because it's not a biter, it's a squisher, right? Maybe this guy has more of a chance, but the bitey snakes, I could very easily defeat them. I think easily. The octopus, let's say the octopus is like, you're underestimating how high they can launch themselves. I would just counter. Like, you just have to believe I just have to trust me. I would counterplay it. I would react, okay? Why do you guys think an octopus would be hard for me to beat? I don't understand it. Again, I would just step on him. I don't see the issue. It would. Are we underwater? If the animal can go on land, it's on land. If it can go on land, it's on land. Only if the animal is 100% aquatic is it aquatic. So like only for the fish, basically. If this guy can go on land, we fight on land. Okay. Again, crocodiles are not that hard to beat. If you hit them on the nose, they don't open their nose. Like they won't open their mouth if you hit them on the nose. The bird is a big bird. So he might be kind of troubling. Hyenas. How dangerous is a hyena? I don't think they're dangerous, right? And it's just one. They're not in a pack or anything. The hyenas deal with manageable. Black bear, not that hard. He might be a little bit tanky, but it won't be that bad. They have almost the same bite force as a gorilla. Okay, but gorillas they're not biting animals, so that doesn't scare me at all. Eagle, again, he's flying and he might get some hits in before I eventually, like he'll swoop in and I'll grab his legs and I'll pull him down. I'll bring him down to earth. You know? Like Icarus. A goat. These guys have hard heads. Goat could maybe get demoted. Giraffe, take out his legs and he'd be done. Chimp, not that hard. Capybara, emotional damage. The camel is large. Maybe the camel can go up? And maybe the walrus can go up. And maybe the wolf can go up. And maybe this guy can go up, because I think he's also large. Your octopus shorts? Wait, what is it?
Alright, we got an octopus here.
No, I don't want to watch him kill an octopus.
This diver almost regretted attacking this octopus, because as soon as he poked it with his stick, the octopus released its special weapon, the ink.
Yeah, it's not so easy. You see how easy this is? He just grabbed it. I'm so 100% right for this. He just grabbed it. Okay. It then strangled him. Wait, which one?
Thrashing and struck snorkel, panicking. The diver river became disoriented, and the octopus quickly launched its counterattack. It released even more ink, wrapped its tentacles around the diver's arm, and reached for his snorkel. Panicking, the diver immediately began swimming to the surface, but the octopus held on tight.
Okay, but this guy's not trying to kill the octopus. You understand that, right? He doesn't want to kill the octopus. That's why he's at a disadvantage. But we are assuming I'll be bloodlusted in this. I'm going to be bloodlusted here. If he's drowning, he is? Maybe, but he's already lost. By the point he realizes he's going to lose, he's already lost, right? I wouldn't make that mistake. He's trying not to die, which is less hard than trying to kill it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, these four are the ones I think could go up to extreme diff. I think I could extreme diff a wolf, though. I do think I could. Also, Walrus relies on me being able to use his weapons against him, but he's very slow. So I'm not at much risk myself, but whether or not I could kill him is going to be a whole other thing. Camel might be a little trouble. And these guys are friends, right? These guys are big, but they're not, like, angry guys, so it wouldn't be too hard. Like, they're huge, but they're not, like, angry, right? Which means, like, they're docile. Basically. And then any of this more than extreme diff. Chimps are incredibly angry. Yeah, but the thing with the chimp is I could, like I said, armbar him. Right? He's smaller and weaker than I am, so it wouldn't be too bad. Chimps are bigger than me. I'm 92 pounds. I'm not. Let's just human versus chimp size. Dude, come on. I'm so much bigger than he is. Come on. I'm like 2 of this guy. They're ripped? Yeah, he's gonna be ripped in half when I'm done with him. Look at this guy. The only ripped he's gonna be is in half. Okay. Stag might be a little bit harder than I'm giving it credit for. I guess this was horse, not unicorn. Would a horse be hard to fight? Probably a little hard. Lion might be low. No, lions don't fight much. Dolphin, they're smart. They might outthink me. And I know kangaroos are boxers, so. Moose, low chance. He's too large. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this list. What are these guys? I don't know, but they go in like a twig, so. Armadillo, that's what it is. Oh, that's a leopard. That's a cheetah. Oh. Oh, leopard is low chance. Almost no chance. You did say that. I didn't realize. Yeah, cheetahs are free as fuck, but leopards, that's a different story. Should re-examine that some of the top 2 tiers if I can actually beat them. I just don't know. I don't know if I could or couldn't beat these guys. I feel like maybe the gorilla could go here in a one-on-one. I probably couldn't beat a gorilla, to be honest. I just don't know my win condition. Right? How would I beat the gorilla? I just don't know how I would. Most of the animals in the top 3 tiers can just sit on me. Yeah, but they don't have my intelligence. They're not as smart as I am. I'd think them. It's called strategy, okay? When you play a fighting game and you play against you're fighting against the boss in a video game, the boss is always way harder, and then when you unlock the boss as a playable character, he sucks. Right? So how do you ever beat a boss if the boss sucks as a playable character?
Nice. Very nice, Bulge.
Strategy. Strategy. Thank you so much, Ron Dizzy. It's called strategy. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with this list. There's nothing glaring that I would change, I think. Maybe Dolphin could... They're smart, though. He might strategize against me. Yeah. I don't think there's anything I'd change. I think everything that I said I could beat. Truly. Like... To be clear, like, I'm out trolling a little bit, of course. Like, I'm being a little bit silly. But every single thing in this tier, I could beat. Like, there's no animal in this tier that I don't think I could beat. Every single one of them, I'm 100% certain that I would be able to kill. And everything in this tier... Okay, I'll move Chimp up, okay? Everything in this tier, I do think I could kill, okay? Everything in this tier, I do think I could kill. And it wouldn't be that hard, okay? Pig might cause a little trouble. It's a pig. What's the worst that could happen? They're hefty. No. And then extreme diff. Yep. Thick skin, bare hands, no knife. Again, I have as long as I have I'm not gonna punch them. Like, I'm not gonna punch the animals. I'm gonna probably kick the animals because you have way more power in your legs than you do in your fists. So I'm probably gonna kick them all to death rather than, you know, punch them to death, right? I'd have shoes on, so I would just, yeah. Like, it really. Anyway, there we go. That's my finished list. If you're, I guess one more, yeah. That's the list. Everything here, I'm 100% certain I could beat. Here, this is like, I might die, okay? I might die. I'm not saying I won't die. I'm saying I might die. I'm not saying I will die. But I could definitely take these guys. And then these guys, I'm probably gonna die, but I can see a win condition. I can see an angle to win. And then these guys, there's no way. It's just, there's no chance. I'm not winning. Okay? There's an angle. I'll call it, you know. There's an angle. Extreme diff either... Okay, does this make you guys feel better? Extreme diff either way. Does that make you feel better? Okay. Chat is full of haters. It's just... I think you guys overestimate how strong animals are, is the thing. Like, I think you think that they're stronger than they are. But they're not as difficult as you think to beat. I overestimate myself? That's not true.